Hi, everyone! I'm so glad you could make it. Now, without further ado, let's reveal what's behind the curtain and start the film.
Sometimes it feels like your brain has a life of its own. You lie down to sleep, you turn off the light, but the thoughts do not. They keep running, arguing, analyzing, remembering, inventing. It's as if a night shift has started inside your head and nobody is going home. Today we'll talk about people whose brains don't rest. Why does this happen? Why can some people switch off easily, while others keep thinking even when there is nothing left to think about? And most importantly, where does this come from? Let's start simple. Our brain is not about happiness. It's about safety. Its job is to notice danger before it happens. That's why it constantly scans the world. What if, suppose, did I forget something? This habit goes back to our ancestors. Imagine a person in an ancient forest. If they were too relaxed, they might get eaten. If they thought a little more than necessary, they survived. That extra caution was passed down to us as an evolutionary advantage. Now there are no predators around, but the brain still runs on the old instructions. It looks for danger where there is none, in messages, in other people's words, in tomorrow's tasks, in memories. When someone thinks too much, it's often linked to anxiety. But anxiety is not a mistake. It's a built-in warning system. It says, think ahead to avoid problems. For example, like you lie down to sleep, and your brain reminds you of an email you need to send. Or you remember a conversation from a week ago and try to figure out whether you said the right thing. Or you replay an upcoming meeting, imagining every possible scenario. It's not because there's something wrong with you. It's because the brain wants to prepare. It's trying to protect you from uncertainty. Some people want everything to be perfect. Not just good, perfect. And that's where the marathon of thoughts begins. Perfectionism makes the brain check, recheck, and analyze every little detail. What if I could have done it better? What if I made a mistake? What if someone thinks I didn't try hard enough? The more a person strives for perfection, the more their brain keeps working even after the task is done. There's another interesting mechanism, dopamine. It's a chemical that drives motivation and the search for novelty. People whose brains respond more strongly to dopamine tend to think more, analyze more, and look for solutions. That kind of brain loves tasks, ideas, and hypotheses. It constantly compares, invents, and plans. Even when a person just wants to lie down, the brain says, "Oh, let's think about this." This is not bad. It's simply a feature of how the nervous system works. During the day, we're busy with tasks. The brain switches between them and has no time for deep reflection. But at night, everything changes. Silence, darkness, no distractions. And then the brain says, "Great, now I can think about everything I didn't get to." It launches a long queue of thoughts, from the shopping list to the meaning of life. It's not because you don't know how to relax. It's because the brain finally has free time. Imagine a cartoon character walking down the street. Thought clouds float around them. One cloud says, "Did I turn off the iron?" Another, "What if everything goes wrong tomorrow?" A third. Why did I say that thing 3 days ago? They walk on, but their brain runs on autopilot. The body is here. The thoughts are anywhere but the present moment. Or another example, and a person sits at work. They do a task, but at the same time they think about the evening, about the morning, about what others will say, about what they will reply. The brain is like a browser with 20 open tabs. There are many causes. They don't make a person worse or better. They are simply traits. Here are a few factors. Temperament. In a more sensitive people, notice more details. Experience. If someone has often faced uncertainty, the brain learns to control everything. Upbringing. If perfection was demanded in childhood, the brain keeps doing that into adulthood. Biology. In some people, brain regions involved in analysis are more active. This is not a problem. It's a thinking style. There's an interesting feature. The brain calms down when it receives simple, predictable signals. For example, when a person looks at calming visuals, clouds, water, soft light, or when they do something monotonous, folding clothes, drawing simple lines, walking. Such actions give the brain a sense of predictability. It stops searching for danger. It no longer needs to analyze everything. So sometimes it's enough to switch to something calm for the stream of thoughts to quiet down. If your brain thinks too much, that's not a mistake. It's its way of taking care of you. It wants you to be prepared, protected, and confident. Sometimes it does this too actively. But with the best intentions, and when you understand why it works this way, it gets easier. You stop fighting your thoughts. You simply observe them. Like clouds drifting across the sky. They come and go, and you remain calm. Did you like this video? You can write about it in the comments. We break down everyday habits and explain them in plain language. And don't forget to subscribe and hit like. This video is educational and informational. The video does not replace professional help. If you have serious problems, consult a specialist.